Welcome back to Orlando, Florida. Mike Alanos, along with my friend and colleague Jane Velez Mitchell. A flurry of activity as Caylee Anthony is released from the Orange County Jail. She is now a free woman, and it is, as we said, it would go down all week long that a caravan of vehicles would whisk Caylee Anthony off in the dead of night. It happened after midnight. Didn't wait much long after midnight, and we kind of had expected that as well. What was unexpected as we watch this again, Jane, she walks right out the front door. It was no mysterious side exit. It was right there for everybody to see.
Yeah, they wanted to make sure she's treated like everybody else. And we were there as 3 embedded journalists came out and spoke about this sort of surreal experience. They had their cameras set up, and one was a reporter for the Associated Press, one was a freelance videographer for NBC, and then one was a still photographer for the Orlando Sentinel. And they had this 15 seconds to kind of assess Caylee Anthony, and just that thank you. Boy, all this journalists, hundreds of journalists discussing that little thank you for 10, 15 minutes.
Easy.
Let's listen to, I spoke to one of the embedded journalists after the news conference. Let's listen to what he had to say. What was her emotional expression? What was her expression?
She didn't have any emotional. It was, she wasn't smiling. She wasn't frowning. She didn't look like she was joyful. It seemed like, to me, it was just a very plain look. Maybe a slight grin, but not that noticeable.
Now, what I find fascinating about this is that this video, this 10 seconds or 15 seconds of videotape where we see her up close and personal, I would like to bring in Mike Brooks, HLM law enforcement analyst. I think it was a decision by the jail to allow this. And of course, you got to wonder, does that reduce her price of the first photograph that she would possibly try to sell to a magazine or to a newspaper or to a TV show? And I'm talking separate from the exclusive interview that everybody's been speculating about, which we don't know, because there was a source, a very good source, that told me right there last night and into today, while we were there, that Jose Baez is still pitching Caylee Anthony's first photographs in her first hours or days of freedom.
No, I don't think it would hurt it at all. You look at the pictures there. What does it look like, Jane and Mike? It looks like the Caylee and Jose Baez show. That's what it looks like. And you see him just walking out with a slight smile. And it's interesting, we got 3 different views of the many faces of Caylee Anthony we've seen. One says she was crying near tears. Another one says she no expression. One says she would look happy. But the bottom line is she's now a free woman, and we're going to see these pictures over and over again. Now, there was a statement that was released from the Orange County Jail, and it read, "This release had an unusual amount of security, so therefore, in that sense, it would not be a normal release. We have made every effort to not provide any special treatment for her. She has been treated like every other inmate in her custody class." And that's by Alan Moore, the spokesperson for the Orange County Jail. But not many, you don't see many people released with an SRT sergeant with a submachine gun standing behind her with the mounted unit out front. But these are precautions that they had to take, because until she pulled on to John Young Parkway onto that street, she was still under their control, Mike and Jane, and they wanted to make sure nothing happened to her whatsoever.
No, that was it. Object number 1. Make sure Caylee Anthony's release goes off without incident, and that it did. So great job. And from all accounts from the embed journalist, it was all business in there. You know, I had a chance to ask. I said, well, did you get the feel that they were ready to be Caylee Anthony free? And it was like, no, this is business. This is what we do. It's time. Let's go. And they did it. And they pulled it off without a hitch. Let's bring back Beth Karras, our colleague from In Session. Beth, with us as well into the wee hours last night. Beth, your thoughts on that front door exit when we were all expecting anything but?
Well, you know, I'm glad that she was treated as a typical inmate in that regard. Obviously, it was an unusual release. Most people, when they are released, maybe to a friend or a family member, but it's quite uneventful. But the controversy surrounding this has made it quite a spectacle. However, they did try to treat her somewhat normally. So she left through scenario number one. We don't know the other two scenarios, but one of the embedded journalists said that the authorities inside told him, oh, we could have easily gotten her out of here and no one would have seen her. This is a huge compound behind me. There are a lot of different entrances and exits. I will be curious to see if she will really benefit from this, because now it's up to the public to determine whether or not she's going to be enriched.